How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another super fan debate. Hope you guys are all good and well. It's the international break now, but the business end of the season is here. We're already in it, but there's some more crucial games to come. I've got a few guys with me, familiar faces. I've got Matisse here on my right. Right in front of me, I got Culture Cams himself and tapping Tobs. What are you saying?
I'm good, man. This guy to my right, though.
What? Already?
No. We've been having some Twitter discourse. Yeah? I think I forgot.
Bro, what's going on, bro? Let me warm up, bro. What the hell?
He's been sending shots at me on Twitter. You think
Where's this come from, bro?
just so the people know, we've been together off camera for about an hour.
Yeah,
Things have been all calm.
Bruh.
He's been waiting.
I've been waiting.
We'll get into that, bro. We'll get into that.
Earlier he did say, "Oh yes, Cams is on there." I was thinking, why?
Oh shit.
Listen, this is going to be a video on the top four battle. I know Chelsea are somewhat comfortable in top four. Matisse is wondering why.
I'm wondering why I'm here, to be honest.
Listen, you are closer to fourth, fifth than you are first, second.
Yeah, 100%.
Even though you're safe, it's a neutral perspective. Tobs, I want to start with you because a lot of people, are saying off the back of the West Ham win, you guys have the most favourable running of the top four challenging teams. Do you agree? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that was always the case. I don't know about other Spurs fans, but I've known about our fixtures for the longest. I've known about our fixtures since about January. After we got through the Chelsea, played Man City, and so on and so forth. I think the Arsenal game was the one we should have played earlier. But I was looking at it and thinking, you know what? Liverpool are the only top six side that we play in literally the final. It would have been the only top 16 that we played in the final sort of 5 weeks of the season. Obviously Arsenal, the game got rescheduled.
Yeah, that'll be in there somewhere.
So the fixtures have always been favourable for Spurs. When you look at it, you've got quite a few reasonable home games against the likes of Burnley, Newcastle. Not going to be easy, but you would expect that Spurs go on and press their case for top four. But the problem is, it doesn't matter how easy the fixtures are. You had two home fixtures that were meant to be bankers in Wolves and Southampton. I thought we were going to beat Southampton. I thought we were going to beat Wolves, and we lost both.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So, and that's 6 points. That's killed us. That's literally killed us in this race. And you've seen the stop-start nature that we've had in 2022. It's just not been good enough. And a team who can't breed a level of consistency, how can you back them to do what it takes to get top four?
Do you think Arsenal have shown the consistency required?
Yeah.
But if I asked you this 6 to 8 weeks ago, you would have probably laughed me off saying Arsenal are.
I would have, and 6 to 8 weeks later, Arsenal are 10 wins out of 13. I didn't think that was going to happen.
That's madness.
I didn't think you were going to beat Wolves away. I didn't think you were going to beat Wolves at home. I'm trying to remember with some of the other fixtures.
West Ham was a good result, I think, as well.
Villa away.
But West Ham, that was December. I expected them to.
Yeah,
Villa. Even that I drew. Villa away, I thought you could draw. So you're doing something that the teams, not just Spurs, but the teams like Man United, West Ham are struggling to do, which is get over the line against the teams that you're favourites in.
Well, I think with Arsenal, it's about consistency. The issue with United, the issue with why Chelsea couldn't compete with City and Liverpool, and the situation with Spurs, it's the consistency, bro.
This is it.
I can't see United winning 3 games in a row at any stage of the season. I don't even know if they have, to be honest. Maybe I have to go back. I don't even know if they have. I cannot see United winning 3 games in a row to say they're going to compete for the top 4 at this point. You know what I mean? But Arsenal, 10 wins in 13. I can't remember the last time Man United ever put a record like that together. So you guys are getting at the right time. The only thing I would say is there's always one more twist. There's always one more twist. The chances of it being plain sailing for Arsenal now go and do a record of 15 wins in the last 20 something is that's slim.
Yeah.
But I am liking what I'm seeing from Arsenal, I'm not going to lie.
So I mentioned, Matisse, 6 to 8 weeks ago, Tobs would have laughed off the suggestion that Arsenal are favourites and would win how many games out of the next amount of fixtures. When did you come to the point to realise that Arsenal are strong candidates, favourites for the top 4?
Let me look at the fixtures, because there was one particular fixture, that I was like, do you know what? Arsenal are going to actually do this.
What, result or...
There was a result. Wolves
home, Wolves away?
Wolves. I think it
Wolves
was.
away, I
Which one is the one that you
That
beat
was
them
the one
both?
down to
You
10
beat them
minutes.
both.
That was a
Yeah.
pivotal
There
one for
was-
me. The one when
Yeah,
he
me as
scored
well.
in stoppage time, I said, okay, safe. Yeah.
Yeah. The one that
this is
yeah.
problematic.
The one that is it Lacazette? Lacazette.
Yeah,
goal.
yeah. That's it. Jose
That's the
Sarr,
one
yeah,
where I said,
Yes.
yeah, this is problematic.
That game, you know, like it's funny. Fergie always used to do this. Like, there's always that result. Stoke away, this team away, Blackburn. Get over that one, and you see the celebration of the Portsmouth. Sometimes at Fratton Park, you see the celebration of the players, and then you're like, yeah, okay, we've got something going on here. And I feel like, I know everyone's complaining about Arsenal over celebrating and all this type of stuff, but I feel like that result was the one where Arsenal were like, okay, because that pretty much deaded Wolves' chance. You know, they were trying to sneak about.
Yeah.
That was like, all right, you lot are done now. And I feel like that one was the first sign of like that togetherness. You know what I mean? Like, Arsenal never say die. That's what Arsenal in the past used to do. You know what I mean? Get late goals and under Wenger and stuff, like the great Arsenal teams.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I thought, do you know what? It wasn't even Lacazette's goal, but he celebrated as if it was his goal.
Yeah.
And that's just the sign of, you know what I mean? Like,
That's just-
selflessness of the
That's
team.
just because he's a scumbag and he can't score.
The selflessness of the team.
Wolves are a serious team. This is a team
Yeah.
that Manchester City have struggled against. Even
Liverpool.
Liverpool struggled last gasp winner. Chelsea drew 0-0. Wolves defensively this season, it's the attack that's maybe actually crippling them.
Yeah.
But defensively, they've been rock solid with their goalkeeper as well. Sarr's probably maybe being the goalkeeper of the year. I look at Arsenal and I say to myself, the resilience and the concentration that they're showing in the latter parts of games to keep these slim leads. You know, these 1-0 wins, 1-0 to the Arsenal, they always say. But, you know, a couple of years ago, Arsenal would be dropping points. They'd be conceding late goals. There'd be some cross going into the box. Someone would fall to the floor. Physically, they couldn't handle the test. Arsenal, same old Arsenal, they concede. They let it slip. But one thing I will throw, a little dagger to the works, because it's a very Arsenal, pro-Arsenal right here.
Well.
Yeah.
Experience. Because they've never been here before. They're coming up against a Manchester United team with experience. They're coming up against a Tottenham team with experience, a manager with experience. Arteta's never been here. Those young players, Smith Rowe, Saka, Odegaard, I can keep going through it. Never been here. They never really had to. They've been finishing 8th comfortably, loving 8th place.
But one thing I would
Now-
say to counter that, one thing I would say is that if it was like a title race, Arsenal was second at the moment, I would agree with that. But Arsenal fans, you know what, I said it as well, like, I actually think Arsenal fans used to be so deluded, innit? Like, I used to think the
still
most
think some
deluded.
of them are.
They probably, like, sometimes when it comes to like overrating their players and stuff, cool. But I actually think there's a realism in Arsenal fan camp at the moment.
Sometimes,
that
yeah.
even in they're going for the top 4, but the fans aren't putting pressure on it. Like, we have to get top 4. If Arsenal finish 5th, the way the fans are talking, it's like they'll still say, well, everyone thought we're going to get relegated this season, or we're going to finish 10th, or what. I feel like the young players are playing with that fearlessness, knowing that the fans are supporting them. Like, you know, with United, it's get it or you die. You know what I mean? Spurs, Conte, get it or you die. Arsenal is kind of just like, if we get it, we get it. If we don't, you guys didn't expect it.
See,
you know what I'm trying to say?
yeah,
And I
it's
feel
true.
like it's driving them, man.
See, I hear,
That's a good point.
I hear that, but at the same time, I think you also have to look at it from a lens where these players have put themselves in a position now where they
have
are,
to close
no
it.
matter what anyone, I don't care what Martin Keown can sit there for 20 hours and lie and say Spurs are the favourites. He's lying. Yeah? He knows Arsenal are the favourites. Arsenal are in pole position. They literally have a 3-point gap over Spurs with a game in hand, albeit against Chelsea. They have a buffer against Man United. They have a buffer against West Ham. They are in the ascendancy. They have to see this out. Now, for me, beyond the experience, I think the fact that they're going to be playing simply more difficult fixtures has to be taken into consideration.
That's
Because now you're in 4th spot now. Yeah, you've put yourself in this position. You have to see the job out. This isn't even me doing no mind trick thing, but if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. Simple. You play Man United at home. You got to beat them. You play us away, you got to take something out of that game. You play West Ham away, you got to take something out of that game. It is what it is.
Chelsea
and now,
as well.
I think
away.
whilst you're right, I think whilst the support for the players is for this like a likeness towards the team is back. Because I think a lot of Arsenal fans now are enjoying
Connected.
They're connected to the squad. They weren't connected to the squad before because they didn't like many people that they saw in the squad. But now, even if they don't get top 4, they can probably eat it up, but I don't want
to
it.
seize the opportunity.
I don't want it to take away from the fact that that would be a massive disappointment.
Yeah,
if they
I
don't
mean,
get top
once
4
you
now.
put yourself in the position, you've got to close, innit?
Same
Like,
with
that's
Leicester
that's just
over
the way.
the years.
Exactly, like
Yeah, yeah.
exactly perfect example. Like, no one expected Leicester to be there, but when you're there, if
Close
you
the
don't
door,
bottle it, you know what I'm trying to say? But I still feel like that is what's driving them. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's the fact that no one expected, we're the youngest team in the league. Everyone thought Arteta's going to get sacked. And here we are doing our thing. And they are kind of falling into this most hated kind of box at the moment. Like everyone's talking about them, this. And then it's kind of like, well, we're just doing our thing.
I think we always claim that, surely.
You
Chelsea, yeah.
Most
No one likes
hated.
us.
I don't know about that. I don't know about Chelsea most hated. I don't know.
Right,
United are a
everyone's
bit the
hoping for
most hated.
liquidation and administration right now.
Nah, United are the most hated club in my opinion.
You think so?
Yeah, come on,
So
man,
this is
come
where
on.
I'll phrase it differently. Arsenal will be very disappointed, correct?
Yeah.
If Manchester United don't make it, it is catastrophic.
Oh, no, wait. The fact that they're in a top 4 race is catastrophic in itself. They're the biggest
I
losers.
knew we were going to be in the top 4.
They're the biggest losers of this. So Arsenal finishing 5th, although it's going to be a big disappointment, it's not going to be the end of the world. Man United are literally in a pile of poo-poo right now. They are swimming in their own dog poo. And it's pathetic.
After the season, after the summer you had, after the summer that you had, you know, Champions League for one, Champions League Ronaldo, yeah?
It's mad that we're talking
one
about
of the
them like
best
this.
under 21 wingers we saw, you know, over the last few years. And now UCL, we're talking about other UCLs that you may be competing in. You're in the conference leagues. It's long. And Manchester United, people forget. When we talk about big spenders, traditionally everyone always talks about Chelsea, Man City. Man United have spent just as much as Man City over the last couple of years in terms of their... It's mad. So Manchester United and on the extra icing on top of the cake, Manchester United actually sacked their manager mid-season. If they were still running with Oli, then you could just put it all to Oli tax. But you can't do that because you sacked your manager looking for change and it hasn't propelled you up the table like it was meant to. You're still hovering in these disappointing positions.
Do you think that, if I ask you what's gone wrong at United, do you think it comes down to something this season or do you think it goes back years to what's gone wrong and it's led to this season?
If you're talking about the grand scheme of things,
how long we got?
You know what I mean? Listen, I got a video coming out about that. You know what I mean? But if you're talking about like this season or the season before, look, first and foremost, giving Oli 400 million is the biggest mistake they could have made. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you go through his signings, all busts. All bust. Bruno Fernandes, you might say, but for me, he's not a bust. I can't. No, Bruno's not a bust.
But you know,
Bruno's not a bust. But you know what I mean. Whatever. The
mean,
jury's starting to come out for him. You know what I mean. But Maguire bust, and Wan-Bissaka bust. Dan James got shipped in a season or 2 seasons or whatever it was. We let him have 14 players. Stand 14 of these guys that are here. Some have come, some have gone. Cavani now, does he play for United? I have no idea. You know what I mean? He's always on holiday with dogs and stuff. Van der Beek off. Tellers barely played. We can go through all of them. Giving him that kind of money to an inexperienced manager that's never been at this level. Like, I know there's rumours of Poch or Ten Hag or whatever, but they've been at a certain level. He was at Mulder, you know what I mean? Mould or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're giving him that much money for Manchester United because he was the next player and he loves the club and stuff like that. Too much trust. Now you've got a bunch of players who, in my opinion, felt like they were bigger than him. You know what I mean? Because he came with this kind of like, we're Man United, you know what I mean? And he gassed up Rashford, he gassed up Bruno, he gassed up these players. And now it comes to a point where a new manager comes in, wants to do this, wants to do that. Leaks in the press, leaks in this. All the comfortable players, Luke Shaw, these, they're not motivating themselves, they're not going. These are the guys that Oli was, you know, putting his arm around and showing all this love and gassing them up. And it's all now just going tits up, basically. And then you look at, I can't sit here and talk about Ralph. You know, a lot of Man United fans are looking at Ralph and saying this and that. He came in on a kind of SOS, like, save us. Okay, he hasn't been able to. But these players have been the constant. Amongst all these variables, it's the players that have been the constant. And for once, they need to start looking at the players.
100%.
They're not good enough because a lot of them, Oli recruited them, so he's he's to blame for this as well.
Was he the only one though?
But I was going to say,
Woodward and all of them not.
yeah, of course, that's part of it. But Oli, a lot of them got away with stuff because you're like, Oli's so bad that when he goes, he's going to blow. Yeah. I was one of the people saying, when Oli goes, I want to see Rash under a manager. Yeah. I've seen him now. He's awful at the moment, you know what I mean? Yeah. Bruno, he's worse. Yeah. All these guys, it's time Man United fans have to look at these players and they need a massive
I think with this, sorry, Matisse. I think with this one as well, and it's mad because it's only until recently that like I've actually Man United are actually not going to get top 4 for months. my boy Dan, my other boy Faiz, they've been telling me they're not going to get it, they're not going to get it. And I just look at it, I'm like, but how? They got Ronaldo, they got Paul Pogba's going to come back into the team. Bruno, surely Rashford's going to start playing better soon.
Think so.
But now we're literally approaching April and these players are still struggling. Ralph, yeah, he's made a couple mistakes with the substitutions, with the tactics, but for the most part, I think he's coaching his arse off at Man United. And the players are still a deficit.
He came in and tried to do a new formation. The players basically said, I don't even know if I can swear on it. Can you swear on this show? The players basically said, fuck that. You know what I mean? We don't want to do this formation. He did a 4-2-2 or whatever it was, 4-2-2-2-2, whatever. They were just crumbled with that formation. They couldn't handle it. He went back to what they're used to. But that's the thing about these players. They're so comfortable,
They don't
bro.
want nothing new.
What just happened? The leaks of I don't even like talking about people's money. Like I'm pocket watching. But the leaks came out of how much the United players are earning. You look at what it's compared to the rest of the league.
It's mad.
These
The wage
guys
bill's
are
crazy.
overpaid and overhyped, bro. That's what it is. They come to Man United, they get given superstar status. They get given you're the best. Luke Shaw, 6 months of
God.
form,
Don't even
best
get me
left back
started,
in the league. Sancho, 2 goals, 3 assists in the last 20 games. Oh, he's back. Ooh, the league is over now. No, it's not. You know what I mean? So that is the thing about Man United. It's just too, I can't explain. The light is too much on these players and they're crumbling and they need to now start getting rid and getting in. Like Arteta, like what Arsenal are doing. Arsenal have done it the best way in my opinion. Like some players come and go. Aubameyang, you got to go. Ozil, you're going to go. This person. And every signing that Arteta has made, other than Willian, I'll say it's a success. In my opinion, Cedric is a utility man.
As a backup right back, I'm happy with Cedric.
I think he's got
a bust.
Pablo Mari, terrible.
He wasn't terrible.
Oh, come
How
on.
much was Pablo
wasn't
Mari? How
terrible,
much was Pablo Mari?
Come on.
7 mil.
Come on, you know what I mean?
wasn't
£7
terrible.
million
He
signings.
He wasn't
Ceballos?
terrible.
It's loan.
Loan deal.
Bust.
Loan though.
But it's a
Loan.
bust.
He was
But
a
he's
bust.
not a part of the club no more.
Yeah,
Loan.
there's more that I can think of. Come on.
Okay, all right. Ramsdale.
Success. No, this season,
so far.
this season it's banged. Last season it didn't bang.
Willian, I think, was a bust.
Gabriel came in last season. Partey came in last season.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
two.
Yeah, but Willian is the one that didn't bang. And
Okay.
This is the thing, but that's the thing. So Arsenal, I feel like, are getting the recruitment right, and they're getting not only
some of
that,
it's worked,
they're
yeah.
understanding what they are as a club now. Arsenal fans, I think Arsenal fans and the club have accepted. Okay, we're not that team anymore. We're not the Invincibles. We're not this team. No, this is the time to rebuild this team, and let's see where we go from there. United are still in the position. Fans still think title charge. It's not coming, bro. It's not coming.
Manchester United
Wake up.
Manchester United still think about the United way, DNA.
Yeah.
This is what
Neville, all of his cronies.
This is what Manchester United's recruitment has been based upon. Not based upon style.
They're not real Man United.
Not based upon philosophy. It's been based upon DNA and vibes and atmosphere. Oh, every time we talk about Manchester United only, great atmosphere. He's got everybody pulling in the right direction. Now when a new manager comes in now, we don't know what system to play. We don't know what style to play. Some people can play out from the back, some people can't. Goalkeeper can't do it. This centre-back in Varane probably can. Maguire can't. Maybe he needs to be in a back three. This guy's not a wing-back. Can't go forward. Can't link up with the winger in Wan-Bissaka to Sancho. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. But Manchester United, if Arsenal were to not win one of those games in hand, which are difficult fixtures, Man United are 4 points off same games played. I can't rule Manchester United out of the top 4 race.
But United's
Mathematically
fixtures,
done.
Leicester, not a guarantee there at Old Trafford. United not great at Old Trafford.
to the Emirates.
Everton away. I know that sounds like maybe you'll think it's a banker,
should
but
be.
Everton are fighting for their lives right now. You don't know what Everton
That's
are going to
the
turn
worst
up.
team to play.
Exactly. Norwich, okay, you should win. You know what I mean? Liverpool away. I mean, Arsenal away. After that, Brentford at home, Brighton, Chelsea. Yeah, it's not easy. United have got tough fixtures, and there's nothing to suggest that United are going to win 3-4 games on the bounce. That's the thing. You don't know what's going to happen.
They're literally running out of games to accumulate.
And
You had your run. You had the run of games to
when
like
they had
Arsenal.
that Ralph picture.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
remember.
10 fixtures.
This is what I'm saying.
Yes.
This is
Yes,
what
that run.
this is what I was saying
Yeah.
the other day. Like Arsenal had a favourable run of stretch
Took
of fixtures for the first 3 months this year. They've capitalised. Man United, since Ralph came in, you saw that graphic, and they didn't capitalise. There were so many. There were matches that I thought they were going to win. And then I think it actually dawned on me. I'm like, right, this. I can't continue back. When it was the Watford one, 0-0, I'm thinking, look at the fixtures you've got coming up. How are you dropping points to Watford? My God.
There used to be a time where, everyone would say individual brilliance will get Man United out of things.
This was me.
But now,
This is literally me.
Now it's gone because Bruno's not having the season he was having. Rashford's not having. Rashford will pop up with a random goal and we may not win. Martial will do a random flick or a random goal himself and United will win.
We said this last season.
Cavani scored 17 goals off the bench. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's not happening anymore. Pogba looks nowhere near as fit as he can.
He's come back and he's looked
horrible. He's already talking about now. It's gotten to that stage of the season where United are talking about new manager. Pogba's talking about I might leave. All that's going to happen from now to the end of the season is rumours. Because United are basically, the season's over. Pogba said to Pogba, I'm not digging Pogba out if anyone thinks I'm digging him out. But Pogba basically said in his interview, pretty much the season's done. He didn't say nothing about let's get top 4, let's get Champions League. He literally said the season's finished. That's the mentality around the whole club. Definitely, season's finished. Ralph is probably going to start interviewing Ten Hag as well, and this and that. United are already thinking about next season. So, if in terms of motivation, I don't see what is for United. The extra 30 million for making CL. What are we going to do? Get bounced out again in the first round? You know what I mean? So
it wasn't that long ago, obviously, we do Big Six together and we mentioned Mikel Arteta, but it wasn't that long ago that Mikel Arteta, Lampard and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer were being compared. Obviously ex-players going into management. Has that debate been put to bed or is there still work for Arteta to do?
Arteta's won the debate.
There's still work for Arteta to do.
Come on, there's still work. He's doing his thing now, but there's still work.
There's still work to be done, but at the end of the day, look at Ole's managerial CV. It's absolutely poor and atrocious in my opinion.
But Ole also finished third with Man United.
He finished second, but I always said that was a false second. I don't look at position, I look at points. When Manchester United finished second, it's not the same as Liverpool finishing second with 97 points.
I hear it.
And I said that the way that they were playing was unsustainable, too much individual brilliance they were relying upon.
That's fine.
Not enough tactics or system. Yeah. And then now they've kind of unstuck.
Catch up to
That's fine.
So I'm not going to give Ole too much prop for that because he had a squad to finish in that position anyway.
Even if you don't, what I'm saying is I think Arteta, we're now finally seeing him in a real positive light. For the first time since he won that FA Cup. Am I wrong in saying this or am I right in saying this? So I think now we can't just then say, now it's done.
Do you know why I asked though? Because Cam mentioned the point that, Ole's left and the next manager has players that are kind of disillusioned. They like the comfort of Ole. Lampard didn't really leave Chelsea in the best state. Quality players, but style of football, maybe discipline was a problem. At Arsenal, it seems that discipline has improved. We've got a style of football. So if worst case scenario it didn't work out and Arteta was to leave or get sacked, it seems that as a manager, he's done a much better job in resetting the squad.
I feel like there's still a lot for Arteta to prove because say you do, has Arteta done Europa League football? I think he didn't.
Got knocked out.
Villarreal semi-final.
Cool. So was that a full season? Okay, cool. So I didn't even know he's done the Europa League. But you're about to potentially get into the Champions League, let's say. I don't know if Arsenal have the squad right now for Champions League. It's weird. I feel like you lot are in that kind of Leicester and if West Ham got it this season, it'll be like, what are you going to do in the Champions League? I think Arsenal are in that position. It's good on paper that you're going to get top 4. But then
there's no
Cronkies are going to have to stick their hand in their pocket and back. But the reason why I agree with you is because everything you need in a manager, right, in terms of when you say trust the process, that sacred words, forsaken words, should I say, trust the process. You got to get your signings right. I think Arteta's done that. You got to have a playing style. I think Arteta's done that. You got to make the fans like the club, like what's going on. He's done that. And you've got to obviously get results. And he's done that. So everything at the moment, in terms of what a rebuild is, Arsenal are actually doing it. And I've got to give hats off because I was one of the people saying, stop wasting time, sack this guy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I can't turn around and now be like, I expected this. You know?
He's done. He's doing well. I just think right now, it's easy to say that. He's won. It looks like he's won the debate now, but I think we need to, as we've seen, we thought the same.
It's over, man. Lamps is.
Lamps is
relegated. And Ole's in Norway, mate.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, a year ago, the conversation was Ole won the debate, and now look how it's flipped. I think I need to see longevity because what he's doing now, you're right. What he's doing now is great, and that's why I'll give him credit because the way I cussed him out, I've given him his credit on the Big Six, but I just want to see it continue.
Because say he gets them into the top 4. and he now has Champions League football like Lampard did, but then he falls to his sword and he can't get Arsenal competing at a level where you're having to play, you know, weekend, midweek.
Like Brendan Rodgers at Leicester.
If you can't do that, then and you fall on that sword and you get sacked, then yeah, you definitely maybe left a better environment behind. But outside of that, you haven't. I guess Chelsea were already in Champions League anyway. Arsenal are coming back into it. So just getting Arsenal back into the Champions League for the first time in donkey's years is an achievement. However, you know, it's still going to be a disappointment. I feel if he's not able to sustain this. It's all good getting in once, but to stay in there is that's where it's levels.
I think even if Arteta's not the one to take us to the promised land of a Premier League title or something like that, I think he should still get credit for the reset he's done, because we was laughed at for years. He came in at a time when we was at the lowest of low, where we was already laughed at just finishing top 4, let alone finishing 8th, you know what I mean? And he's managed to kind of, the first thing he said was, I need to kind of reconnect the fans with the club. That's happened now. You mentioned earlier, we're not as culpable to conceding goals anymore in terms of if it's a 1-0 or a 2-1. Arsenal of old, you knew pressure would turn into a goal. Now, not so much. And a lot of football is mental. A lot of football is won before the game, you know. And what he's done is he's changed. Look at Toby. He's all of a sudden giving Arsenal credit recently. 2-3 months ago, completely different perspective.
I do think though, like, I think
me included, because I know some people are saying, so was you, Turkish.
But I think,
I was.
Again, I'm looking at both sides of the coin, really, because the things that you've praised him for, where he's sort of been a bit ruthless in flushing out your team, I also think I think they've left you lot short-handed now in at least one or two positions in your starting 11. I think they've left you short-handed as a squad in terms of and I know you can say this for other players, for other squads, but a couple injuries here and there, kaputs, and it undoes the work that you've actually built so far. And I also think that he's put his trust in players that have ultimately let Arsenal down for too long, and him clearing out the deadwood is basically just him rectifying his own mistake, clearing out players.
Who would you say that for, though?
I'd say that for Willian. He went all out for Willian.
But isn't that a positive though? If a new manager that comes into a first role, buys a player and it doesn't work out,
and is ruthless enough to get rid? I agree, because I thought they'd keep him for the duration of his contract.
Exactly. We buy players and we give them season on season. Like Xhaka is one example now that we're still waiting on that season that's going to make it make sense.
But City did it with Bravo. You make mistakes, but you have to get rid of them as soon as possible.
I just look as like dumb things that he signed off on. Like, I remember last season in January, you could have got rid of Eddie Nketiah. You didn't get rid of him. And now look at him, he's leaving the club on a free transfer. I look at
Ainsley Maitland.
I look at Maitland-Niles. Like, there's so many players, so many examples of poor decision making by him and Edu as well, because it's not just Arteta. So I think right now he's doing well, but I think he's also had a lot to do to get to this point, because he made so many mistakes in his first,
which is understandable 15, for an experienced manager.
It is understandable, but then you have to ask yourself, why are a club as big as Arsenal having to put up with a rookie sort of finding his way?
But maybe then you look at Man United and you say, well, the approaches they've taken, from a Moyes to a Van Gaal to a Mourinho to a Ole, very different, and none of them have been substantial in terms of bringing success. So maybe they thought to themselves, maybe that isn't the way to go with a Conte, who I would have loved. Maybe it isn't the way to go with an Allegri. Maybe Arteta is the way. And so far, up until now, as we sit here now, majority of us think Arsenal are favourites for top 4 all of a sudden.
I've always said, when it comes to like the United thing, I always said the guy that gets the job after the guy that flops after Fergie is the banker. That's the one that needs to bring United back to business.
Wenger as well.
Whoever came after Wenger was going to fail, bro. Emery's not a bad manager, bro. He somehow in this country is laughed at. He's not. He's a decent manager.
He's not a bad manager, but he was poor at Arsenal.
But following Wenger, at that point it's peak. It's like you're destined to fail.
100%.
It's the same as Fergie. Moyes had no chance. Of all the managers Man United have had over the years, he's the one I feel most sorry for.
Fair enough.
He had no chance, and it's the same with Emery. So Arteta's actually the one that's come in at a point where it's like, oh, my man's failed. You guys have no expectations. All right,
now it's time to
let's see what's going on here. Yeah, exactly.
Back-to-back 8th place finishes. If you can survive that tells me where Arsenal Football Club are. And then the only way is up. You can't go further down from 8th. But I wanna rope Tottenham into this because they're not far behind.
They're not.
And it sounds like they don't even have a chance. I'm not hearing.
No, we have a chance. I never said we don't have a chance. I'm saying that ultimately the team don't show the consistency to get over the line.
But my thing is,
at the start,
I've said it, Spurs are always gone.
If at the start of the season, yeah, I said to you, with 10 games to go, yeah, you will have Antonio Conte as manager. You'll be 3 points behind Arsenal, but they'll have a game in hand. I'm pretty sure you would have said you're confident that Tottenham will do it. Even with Conte.
Not with his squad. When Conte came in, wasn't I laughed at on the Big Six when I said my expectations for Spurs, top 6 finish and a run out of cup. I don't have faith. I don't have faith in this squad.
Thing is,
I don't have.
But my thing is, with this Spurs situation, like, you've got a decent 11. The first team's a decent. You've got a decent 11. Arsenal have a decent 11. If you go through Arsenal's 22, it might be questionable. But if you go through their 11, it's a good enough 11 at the moment. And I think it's the same with Spurs.
Disagree.
You've got to also include, you've got the best manager out of the bunch.
Yep.
You've probably got the third best manager in the Premier League.
Yep.
If depends if you want to argue with Tuchel, whoever, whatever.
Best striker at the
You've
bunch.
got the best striker and arguably the best player in the Premier League in Harry Kane. Arguably, one of the best players or best strikers. You've got a winger
best front three
You've got Son. You've got Son who does bits, and after years and years and years, he's always in this conversation of top 5 wingers, or he might. Once upon a time, he was better than Mane. Once upon a time, he was better. There was always who's this? You know what I mean? He's always in those conversations. You signed a £50 million centre back in Romero, who Spurs fans herald as if he's like the new Vidic or something.
No, not
I don't see
Vidic,
it,
but he's quality.
Okay, fair enough. So he's quality. You've got a solid, you're going to have Højbjerg, and you got Bentancur now, yeah? Inclusion. Kulusevski, inclusion there. Lloris, a World Cup winning goalkeeper. What is stopping your team from being a top 4 contender? It's only excuses. You guys, the only reason Daniel Levy would have got rid of Nuno at this point of the season is to get in Antonio Conte. He didn't get in Ryan Mason, bro. He got in Antonio Conte for one reason.
But what did
Conte get us top 4? Best manager, top 5 manager in the world. Get us top 4. There's no excuses, bro.
But Daniel, no, listen.
It's close. It's not like Man United
I never
are
said
zooming away from top 4.
It's
Arsenal just ahead of you.
I never said it's not close. I never said it's not close. And did I not say on the Big Six, I think if Spurs miss out on top 4, having put ourselves in the position that we did in January, it's a disappointment as well. I said it to Grizz. But the problem with what you said there is Daniel Levy's done all that. And the main problem with this squad, he's not done much with, which is the team. You say that it's a decent team. Højbjerg,
he's decent.
Højbjerg's
good, man.
You know how much I ride for Højbjerg. And I don't think he's a bad player, but he has been shocking this season. It's become abundantly clear that our midfield was weak. We only brought in one midfielder in January, in Bentancur, who's a good player. Yeah, our wing backs are not good. They're not good. Our right wing back issue, everyone has seen that problem laid out bare throughout the season. Whether we play Doherty, whether we play Emerson. Doherty's in a better moment right now, but you saw, literally before we started this, you saw what happened with West Ham.
The scouting going on that.
You saw what happened with West Ham, right?
Yeah.
Cruise control, gives away a dumb corner at nothing, and they score. And then people wonder, why are Spurs where they are, despite Harry Kane, that's why. Because we, the one thing I will say, is this. One, Spurs, in fact, 2 things. Spurs do not have a good 11, and I don't even think it's for a side chasing top 4, for a side that want to be a top 4 side. It's not a good enough 11.
If Mikel Arteta has shown it, and he's a manager, and again, not so long ago, laughed at inexperience, he's asked Lacazette to do something different. And that brings out a better Saka, that brings out a better Odegaard, it brings out a better Martinelli.
Yeah.
He's asked Xhaka, like Cam said, to do something different, which has brought us, a slightly better Xhaka is less susceptible to the mistakes in front of the defence, costing us goals. But Arteta went into the season with Oba, his first choice striker, a very different striker to Lacazette.
Yep.
Coming to the midway point, that, whatever happened. He's had to go to Lacazette. Now everyone assumes this is the way Arteta's always wanted to play. But in fact, he kind of had to change it up because his hands were tied behind his back.
Yep.
And he's managed to do that with a squad that you were laughing at the beginning of the season as well. So surely Conte does.
I think he's trying that. You're forgetting that our centre back 3 is a centre back 3 of Ben Davies, Eric Dyer, and Romero. I think he's showing that he's trying that. He's tried so many things, and now it looks like we're finally starting to get used to his way of playing. You see that we're getting a bit more confidence in terms of playing with the ball out of the back. We're creating way more chances against the opposition than we did under Nuno. There are
Do you not have
clear
any-
and obvious signs to prove that Antonio Conte has definitely made Tottenham better. He has.
Do you not have any star boys in the academy you can promote or something?
I don't want to say that.
No, we don't.
The man that you cannot
No, we
say, but they
don't.
got a fake version of him, you know what I mean?
Oh,
in their
okay.
academy, you know what I'm saying? Then Scarlett, the fake, you know what I mean?
Say it then.
You know?
Say it then.
I ain't trying to get cancelled out here. But my thing is, you're talking about Doherty and that, and the reason why I keep having to
Not
go
just
on
him,
about,
bro. I
but
just
the
named
reason
a
why I
player
have to
like
keep going on,
Højbjerg, who's meant to be one of our reliable players.
but with the season that man,
Harry Kane, he dropped a stinker for the first half of the year.
This is what I'm saying. So you got to put more. You got to stop scapegoating the guys that are dead weight and actually
I'm
put
not.
the
I said
guys
the
that you
squad.
expected greatness from. Harry Kane has let Spurs down this season.
What did I just-
So
what did-
you've got to put him at the.
What did
you
I-
should be saying him. I
What
should
did
be
I-
hearing him.
Because 10 more goals from Harry Kane, they're top 4.
What did I say?
Regardless
Easy.
of all the other
What did I
Harry
say?
Kane,
What did I
Harry
say?
Kane is meant to be the goal scoring standard alongside
And now
Mo
he's
Salah for the
performing.
Premier League.
Yeah.
Easy. He's got 12 league goals this season, which
in
is the same
20,
as
28.
washed
It's
Cristiano
not-
Ronaldo.
it's not good enough.
Which is the same as Mane, Jota. And in fact, he's got the worst minutes per goal ratio in the top 10 of the Premier League goal scorers.
Yeah, it's not good
So
enough.
he's the one that you should be looking at him and saying, Harry Kane, England captain, world-class striker, close this season.
Bro, I agree.
Win
I
us
agree.
games, because that's what top players do.
I agree.
Top players win you.
That's what they're there
when,
for.
what did you need when Drogba is about?
Drogba in the finals.
Win us games. In our
Late
day,
winners.
Rooney, Ronaldo, win us games. Henry, whatever. This is the standard that Harry Kane should
But
be
he is
at.
winning us games now. The problem is he wasn't winning us games at the start of the season. And
So most blame should be on Harry Kane this
there was blame. What did I say?
it was him, in my opinion, that put that negative mentality into Spurs. I don't think he was feeling
And he's
Nuno
the
once.
captain as well.
He's not.
He's not
a
the
racist
captain.
Oh,
He's
sorry.
the
I
captain.
always
Yeah.
assume he is. Because
But
you know what I mean?
you know, listen,
I'm putting a lot of blame on Harry
you
Kane.
can put blame on Kane. It's justified. And
Because if
Kane-
Ronaldo had look at the impact.
course, yeah,
Ronaldo gets criticised for his impact into
Bro,
into
we
United.
criticised Harry Kane.
Harry Kane is the reason.
Harry Kane
Is he the reason?
What?
Harry Kane is the reason for this Spurs
Not
season.
the only reason.
He's
No,
a
but
prime
Is he the main reason?
If he
he's
had
not
the
the main
same
reason.
amount of goals as he usually does at this
Brother.
season, you'd be top 4.
Brother, Harry Kane was the top goal scorer and top assister last season. Where did Spurs finish, please?
I don't know. Where'd you finish?
We finished 7th.
But now you got Conte.
Okay, but I'm talking about the squad. We've got a top class manager. The thing we keep changing the managers, but the thing that hasn't changed drastically is the team, and that is the main problem. And then,
But if you were 7th with a Harry Kane in top form, goals and assists,
Yeah.
and right now you're 5th, 3 points off top 4, with Harry Kane having a terrible season, surely it's fair to say that he's not doing the job he done last season, but the rest of the squad must be doing better than last season. because
no, they're not doing better than last season.
But if he banged
Højbjerg is
2010
worse. Højbjerg is worse this season. Reguilon is meaty. Doherty's still crap.
what's going on regular?
What? Tell me how they're better. So like you lot watch Spurs week in week out. I feel like you're saying this stuff just to
I just
trigger
want to
me.
see you in pain. I'll be honest, man. I love it,
I ain't
man.
even saying the trigger, but I'm just saying Kane has a massive impact on what's
Of course he does,
happening
'cause he's
to
our
Spurs.
best player.
And that's why I'm
He's
saying
our
it
best
should
player.
be
Yeah,
his duty to get.
But
you
you
to
know
this
why-
top
you know
four.
why- you know-
when's the Arsenal game?
What, Spurs?
Yeah, Spurs Arsenal.
It hasn't been rescheduled.
Rescheduled.
That game, Harry Kane needs to be putting that to bed.
He always steps up in
All
those
right, let's
games,
see
bro.
then.
He didn't last
That should be the one to
At home.
send Spurs into the top 4, in my opinion.
Even if Spurs win that game, it's about beating the likes of Brighton at home, Newcastle at home. Like you can't put all these things on Harry Kane. He's one
I
player.
personally wouldn't. I kind of feel sorry for him
He's
because he
one
has
player.
been. He has
Oh,
been.
so now you know how Ronaldo feels, right?
Because he's been
I don't
carried.
put it all on Ronaldo.
He's been-
That's Matisse. That's Matisse. That's Matisse and Grizz.
Now
I
they
don't
know
put it
how
on
Ronaldo
Ronaldo.
feels.
All I say,
don't put it on
all I say with Ronaldo is that he, as I said when Ragnick came in, Ronaldo needs to be rotated. He cannot be the focal point of Manchester United Football Club.
So people need to go and call Edison Cavani and say, when are you going
When are
to
you
show
coming
up?
home? When
Do you
are
know
you
what I
coming
mean?
home?
Man
When's
said
your
that-
holiday done?
No, what the hell?
But people weren't understanding me. They were saying, "Oh, you can't drop Ronaldo. He's undroppable. His name's Ronaldo." I said, "Okay, you
No,
can
you
play
can
that
drop
game.
him.
37-year-old
We never
never
said you
drop
can't
him,
drop him.
and you want to."
He's 37.
Well, a lot of people are telling me you can't rotate Ronaldo. He's Ronaldo.
can
I
rotate
can
him.
imagine people saying that. I
Right,
can
that's
imagine
what they were
people
saying.
that.
Listen,
I'm saying,
this conversation, it can go on forever, but we're limited here. And I want to round it up with a prediction. Stick our necks on the line.
Why are you not in the title race?
Yeah, go on,
Why are you
finish
not in
up.
the
Finish
title
up
Same
with
reason
that.
you're not.
No, I need to know
No,
why
it's the
you.
same- I'll tell
Because
you
you're
why.
sitting here all
It's the same
smart,
reason.
but you shouldn't be on this table.
You're right. I shouldn't be.
You should be
I
off
shouldn't
with
be.
Grizz and Steve.
But do you
Well,
know
you can't sit on their table.
Ask him.
That's the thing. You
Ask
can't
him to
sit.
play the
But you
video
know
he
what?
made for
Do you know what?
Lukaku.
Man said
you should be Grizz and Steve.
He should be Grizz and Steve, and he's sitting here all smart. but You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Yeah.
If we win our game in hand, yeah, on Manchester City, we will be 8 points behind them. Okay.
Is there title race on?
Now, I'm not saying that's a title race. But I said at the start of the season, Chelsea need to be 6 or 7 points off the top, and that will be an improvement in terms of progression. If we do that, then we've done the job. Now, bearing in mind what's happened with Chelsea this season with injuries, with the Lukaku situation,
What's the
and now with the
Lukaku
ownership.
situation?
The Lukaku situation is
It's just
what
a
you know it to
striker
be.
not banging.
No, it's a striker.
That's not a situation. That's a striker not banging.
It's the same with Harry Kane. A striker that has questioned his own future and has failed to deliver the goods which he was meant to do. So we put a lot of the blame on Lukaku. We do, but because he was meant to take us to the next level, he hasn't done that. I revoke all responsibility of this individual. This individual is no longer under my tenureship.
Can I just say
would like
something?
him revoked.
Was this not the same? Was this not the same man?
I suspended my Lukaku membership.
You said something like,
what?
We finished. Where did you not finish last year?
I know where you're going with this. Let me finish. As much as
I'm gonna scream like something. So. Was it not the same guy?
I know where you're going.
Who said, "Oh, we finished 4th last year.
Yeah.
We won the Champions League. Now what are we gonna do when we sign £100 million?
Okay.
Yeah, and then a couple minutes ago you said, "Oh, if Chelsea finish 6 or 7 points behind Man City."
That's what I said. No, that's what I said at the start of the season.
You, my brother,
Chelsea have to close
you
the
were
gap.
expecting a title
race.
challenge,
Yes.
and you were even
Yes.
tipping Chelsea to win.
Yeah, of course.
The damn
I always
thing.
back my club.
So then,
but let me
what
make
we
this
saying now?
very clear.
Back
In the
the club
Premier League,
hype.
we have underperformed. But let's bear in mind we are not on the same table. Okay? I might not be on their table.
We are.
But we are not on this table. We are not on this table. Chelsea have won 2 out of the 3 cup competitions they have been available in.
We're talking
so
about
far.
the Premier League here, mate.
And we have got to the final of Carabao, semi-final of the FA Cup.
And
We're
you
still in the
lost.
Champions
And you
League.
lost.
So we are covering all the competitions. Bearing in mind, we've had injuries to the critical wing-back positions, which you cannot go against me on because you talk about how important your wing-backs are.
Yep,
Our wing-backs
it's
are
true.
just as important.
True,
Your big money
James.
striker that was meant to deliver hasn't delivered. Our one has not delivered. I take full responsibility.
Yeah, but you still slam Spurs for it, though.
Yeah, of course. And you can slam me, but to an extent, because we are still picking up titles, we're still picking up trophies, and we're still in all competitions. We're still in all competitions, and we're still challenging on all fronts.
I was just about to say what they picked up this season.
Yeah, we picked up 2 trophies. and really, we should have picked up a 3rd, and we all know that was onside, okay?
They're doing what Liverpool did.
We all know Liverpool.
did that
We all
year.
know the VAR. My thing is with Chelsea is that we need to humble ourselves 100%. We underestimate the
Don't say
situation.
we, you do.
We, as a collective
you
virgin army. Now, we thought we could come into this Premier League and we could just Conte, straight in. We're in. We're now here to get involved. We can't do that. We have to build successively. But with all the madness that is taken, place at my football club this year, come on now. Chelsea are going on a good run. I think we've won what? How many games in a row now recently?
Yeah,
After all of this madness, we're putting together a decent run. And like I said, these 2 teams fighting at the top, they're just focused on each other. We're not going to win it, of course not. We're not involved, but we could close the gap, and it could look respectable by the end of the season, whilst challenging on all fronts. With the issues I've outlined, it's not as bad as everybody would like to claim. And like I said, first season for Pep, finished 3rd, Tuchel. Chelsea fans slander us, but Tuchel, first season, full season, you finished 3rd.
So next season's title.
So next season,
New
he's not on this
ownership.
table.
New ownership. There could be problems.
So why did it take Tuchel so long to put Havertz to start Havertz?
Because the politics, the pressure of playing Lukaku is there. You spend 100 million on a player and 325k a week, you have to play them. Yeah, 100% he signed off. 100% he signed off, and he's made that mistake. But when you pay that kind of money for a player,
But is it
you
a
have to
mistake
push.
though? Is it a mistake? Lukaku's a striker that scored over 100 Premier
You know
League
it's a
goals.
mistake.
I'm asking
Don't play
questions.
this game.
I'm
You don't rate
asking
him.
questions.
You don't
It's an
rate him.
uncomfortable
Don't play devil's
conversation here. You know
You
what I'm
don't rate
saying?
him. You
It's
don't
an
rate him.
uncomfortable
I know you.
conversation.
I know you.
Listen, let me ask you
I
a
know
question.
you.
You've got Lukaku that scored 118 Premier League goals. So he's Prem proven, right?
Bruno
100
Fernandes
he's over there.
proven, yeah.
Hold on, Bruno's not in the 100 club. is he? Lukaku is a Premier League proven striker. Tuchel gave the go-ahead for 100 million for this man to not accommodate a system for him to play in. A blind man could have told you Lukaku's not a guy you pin up,
100%.
give you flick on and all this type of stuff. So why did Tuchel
explain.
identify him? That's 100 million down the drain pretty much.
You know my name is MAH. It's Ma.
Yeah.
He was manipulated. This is what
By
I keep
who?
saying. By Lukaku. You remember the interview at the start of the season? I can do anything. I'm multifaceted.
But did he not watch Lukaku in the Serie A? He didn't do that ever. He wasn't doing that.
So that's
Lukaku
Matisse.
come in
So
doing-
what do you mean
Lukaku
manipulate?
came-
Said he was world class.
So wait, hold
Lukaku was
on.
world
A
class.
manager of
Lukaku
Tuchel.
came
Let me
in
ask you a
doing
question.
PR.
Let me ask you a question. a manager of Tuchel's experience
He's not a
and
scout,
quality.
He got
and the
brainwashed
scouts,
too.
all of the Chelsea, whatever you say,
Let him ask a question. Last question as well.
these guys, you're telling me that these guys got done on lip service of Lukaku saying, oh, I can hold up.
Bro,
even despite my whole time in Syria, I'm running off the last man and I'm doing transition football.
Under Conte,
he got done by lip service. A manager of Tuchel's quality, he got done by lip service.
Listen, I'm going to give you two points. Conte,
Tuchel, coach the attack, mate.
He said, you say that, but
we're relying on wing backs.
You say that,
my attacking fullbacks that they laughed at. They used to laugh at Chilwell, by the way.
Since Kai's coming to the team, there's no service issues. There's no, do we need 4G, 5G? No, you're getting 3G and you're still scoring the goals, right? So there's no system issue with what Tuchel's put out there. The issue is Lukaku. Lukaku is not as multifaceted as he claimed. He clearly did not work. He clearly did not do his back to goal work with Conte, as he said. and clearly he needs a little bit more. He needs a little bit more catering to than he let on. Now that is an L, 100%. But one thing I say with Lukaku is it's not just about the system. It's the lack of effort, the aerial duels, the ground duels. Not competing. The guy is not competing. The guy is not moving. There's no movement in the box. The ball's coming into the box. So we will just misjudged him as Chelsea fans and maybe as the board. But I always say this as well.
So can you apologise? Can you apologise to Man United fans?
Oh, I already have.
No, I want to hear it on this show because I ain't heard it.
There's too many people.
I do think he's not this bad. Lukaku on his day is a quality striker.
The one thing I will say
is
Klopp wanted Mario Götze and he wanted Julian Brandt, and Liverpool's Michael Edwards got them Mane and Salah, and he said, screw your ideas, you're not a scout, you're a football coach, I've got better options. And that's what Chelsea need to do. They need to surround Tuchel with people that know
So you're saying Tuchel's talent ID is poor?
I'm not saying his talent ID is poor, but he's not a scout. Listen, we don't have time.
Uncomfortable questions.
We are running out of time. We are running out of time.
Unfortunately,
Money,
I wanted to get into it. I really did. I wanted to
get into it off camera. We're still here, so don't worry about that. The pressure's still going to be on. Listen, last question to round it up. One answer. Who gets top 4, Tobs?
Arsenal, unfortunately.
Say that. They didn't hear you.
Gooners,
That's some
unfortunately.
base voice.
Who gets top 4?
I don't know why. For some reason, I walked in here saying Arsenal, but something about this table has got me a little bit.
I need it to be Spurs. The way I'm going to shit on man if it's Spurs.
I know I'm going to go Arsenal. I'm going to go Arsenal.
Please, Lord.
Arsenal. I'm going to go Arsenal. Matisse?
I'm putting Manchester United.
You best pray you get it.
Manchester United have to get
If you
it.
don't get
Cams,
it,
your fan base is finished.
Lord, you're done.
It's finished. Oh.
Well, United don't need top 4, man. They need to just rebuild in it.
They need a reset. So you saying Arsenal, you're going United. I'm actually going Arsenal. Over the last couple of weeks.
No fence sitting now.
I've come off this fence a long time ago, mate. I don't know where you
Splinters were hurting you, yeah?
No, it's not about splinters. All I want to see something to believe in. And Cams, you've talked about it. Tobs, you've talked about it. Matisse, you've talked about it. And this is something new to me as an Arsenal fan, being on YouTube and doing content. But since I've been on YouTube doing content, very few fans of other clubs have anything good to say about Arsenal. So it's a different time, but obviously it has to come with a top 4.
Last thing, if you don't get it, how do you feel?
Disappointed.
Oh, I'm going to shit on him.
Is it like, is it failure?
Yes.
How do you feel?
Well, if Arsenal don't get it.
If you don't get it.
Oh, no, I don't mind.
He's not Man United.
I don't mind. United don't need Champions League. I tweeted it. People were crying. United don't need Champions League. They need to rebuild. They need to rebuild that squad. What's the point of getting Champions League next season? What is the point? So the Glazers say, oh, top 4, that's a decent little squad you got there. Ten Hag come in and make it work.
Champions League.
Nah, bro.
Champions League
rebuild.
is positive for me. You can rebuild even whilst getting Champions League.
Not United. Not United. They don't know how to do it, man. They'll go and spend 100 million on one random guy because they got Champions League.
Listen, if you don't make Champions League and Newcastle rise, we may never see you again.
So, people, hope you guys have enjoyed another super fan debate. Make sure you guys check out everyone's channel here. I'm going to put it in the description below. Culture Cams, Tapping Tobs, and Matisse. Look out for them, description below, support them. Big Six as well, obviously, Tobs and Matisse. Culture Cams is obviously a regular on there too. So look out for that, people. Let us know favourites for top 4 and let us know your thoughts in the comments today. Love for the love, people. Hit the like button on the way out. We're out.
Enjoy the Ricketts, fam.
Peace.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.